drives.
Hi, Daryl.
Hi, Scotty.
How's everything going?
How's Scotty tonight?
Very
No,
good.
pretty good. How about you?
Very good. I don't have too much to complain about.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yep. Sticking on my
That's a good thing.
sticking on my water kick here, drinking lots of water.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I had to clean up my machine a little bit.
How so?
Well, the carbon copy cloner gave me an error.
In the process of copying one over?
Yeah, in the process of backing it up,
Right.
And so I booted it into something else, and then ran the diagnostics or whatever they told me to do.
Yeah.
And then it had something to do with, I don't know, indexes or something like that. I don't know. So anyway, but it cleaned it up and it made a clean copy today. So
Oh, good. Good.
It was fine.
Well, that's good.
I've never tried to boot it from the cloner.
It should be bootable.
Yeah.
This is a USB or FireWire hard drive that you got connected.
USB.
Yeah, it should still boot. Yeah, so what you could do is you could, just for the heck of it, turn your computer off, hold the Option key down, turn the computer on with the Option key held down, and that will give you a choice of bootable hard drives, USB and FireWire. And you can select one of those hard drives. One of them would be the Carbon Copy Cloner hard drive, and then try to boot from there, just for the heck of it. But you need to remember to turn your computer off and then reboot back into your internal hard drive. Otherwise, you'll start using the Carbon Copy Cloner drive, which should look exactly the same. So you might forget that you're booted off of the other drive.
Okay. You have to turn it off, or can I just restart it?
You can restart, but while you're restarting, hold the Option key down. And then you'll get a gray screen with several different hard drives, maybe two. Actually, the 10.7 and 10.8 partition a piece of the drive internally, and they call it the recovery partition. That's in other words, you're going to see a drive. If you hold that Option key down and you boot it up, you're going to see a drive that you're thinking, well, I don't have this drive. Why is it showing that? Your internal drive is actually partitioned. You just don't see the recovery partition right now. The only time you would see it is if you booted with the Option key held down. The reason for that is...
So boot to the cloner drive with the Option key down.
Yeah.
And then when I'm finished, I'll turn it off again or restart it again, and don't do anything?
No, you still have to... If you boot... I'll call it Option boot. If you Option boot into another hard drive, then the next time you restart your machine, it will boot right to that same drive every time.
Okay, so I have to hold the Option key down again.
Yes, and then go back.
And it gives me two drives? In
your case, it'll give you at least three. It'll give you your internal drive, the recovery partition, and then your Carbon Copy Cloner drive.
Okay, so I want my internal drive to boot to the internal drive.
Right, right.
Okay.
The only reason recovery partition is there is to give you the ability to re-download Mountain Lion or to try to work on the disk. If your hard drive's having some problems, you can try to do it that way. I'm not really a big fan of using recovery partition to work on your own hard drive. I'd rather boot from an actual external hard drive like this one right here that I have.
The problem I have for tonight, if you want to get started...
Yeah, let's do it. Nobody's here. Nobody else is here, I should say.
Is I go into National Association of Health Underwriters, and last week we put on a couple of programs to help me play audio-video files from Safari.
Yes.
Okay. Still won't play.
All right. Can you give me that web page? And remember, this is going to be this is recording, so if it's private stuff, then I can move it over to another drive or another screen. But is this
It's a login. It's a login thing. Yeah.
Okay. What I'd like to do is log in over here on mine. Can you send me the email, and I'll keep that off of the screen so that it's not recording?
Yeah.
If that's okay. Otherwise, I could take a look at your screen and then just black it out later.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna email it to you. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that'll be fine. And actually, I can do it. Just do it on a completely different computer.
Ah, what? Well, that is not having fun here, Scotty.
What, the email?
No, here we go. It's nahu.org. nahu.org.
All right, I'm going to try to pull that up now.
And I think you can see the username and password there.
Oh, I'm not looking at your screen. Did you send me the email already?
Yeah.
I have not gotten that yet. But this is video embedded in this site that we cannot see, right?
Right. Let me give you. Oh, I know what I need.
Yeah, I still don't. Oh, there it comes. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, good.
But I may have.
I see that username and password. Let me see if I can log in. Chris, maybe turn your volume down a little bit. I'm getting some feedback, and it wasn't happening before you came in, so that might be it. Check 1, 2. Yeah, that seems better.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Daryl, I'm logged into that website. Daryl has a problem with a proprietary website that is not showing video. So I'm logged in as. Well, I thought I was logged in as you.
Okay, the site where the compliance piece of software or compliance program is under education and programs.
Education and programs.
Yeah.
Across the top, I see about, events, consumers. Can I pull this over so you can look at my screen?
Oh, sure.
Well, let me log in as you again here.
I sent you the URL for the site where the compliance piece is.
All right, let me see if I can get in here. Okay, so here we are on that. I will try to get that email link. That email address is not pulled. Actually, yeah, I think it's coming in here.
That's the URL for the compliance page.
All right. I've had it come in on one computer, but not the other yet. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay. All right. Where is the? And I'm not sure if I'm logged in as you. So where is the video that you're talking about?
Be right here. The Patient Protection
Affordable
and
Act.
Affordability Care Act.
Okay.
I think that's it.
And which of these has video? Top or lower part of the page?
Probably the lower part of the page.
Okay, I see some W-2 stuff, narrative, coverage, PDFs, Excel spreadsheet, attachments, PDF attachments.
Okay, change the word compliance to webinar and try that.
You're talking about in the URL?
The URL, yeah.
Yeah, that's not there. But if this is a webinar, they may ask you, they may be wanting you to download the specific software that they used to view the webinar. Possibly. In other words, like GoToMeeting doesn't use this, but some services would record it in their own proprietary format, and you would need that program to view that webinar.
So maybe that's my problem.
I think that's probably it. Since you said webinar, it's probably not just a standalone video. It's something that gives you the ability to maybe interact with it or something. So it might not just be purely a video. Can you send me the link? Here's Compliance Corner webinars. Here's a past Compliance Corner webinar recordings and slides. How about that?
Yeah, just try that one.
Okay, I see several here. These are webcasts. Let me just look at. This.
None of them work, so you try anyone you want.
Okay. Okay, it says PowerPoint presentation coming soon. So they set. All right, so looks like it's going to load in QuickTime maybe. Let's see. Let me go back and see what form this downloads in.
No problem.
Okay, it's a WMV file. When I right-click it, you see where I'm downloading it. It says, of course, the extension there says ASF, but this is 51 megs. We'll let it download, and I'll see if I can play it as a right-click.
Okay, so how did you get to download?
If you hover over the link you want to look at in option click automatically tells Safari I want to download that link. Another thing you could do is right-click on the link, and you see you have different options. One of which is download linked file. That's what you would do. Okay. So I'm waiting on this WMV file, which Flip for Mac would play. That's what we downloaded last week.
Okay, but when I just double-click it and it tries to run it, I get the audio, but I don't get the video.
Yeah, let's pull it out of Safari. So we're trying to use Safari to look at it. Let's take Safari out of the loop for a moment and just get it down to the most basic of pathways here. Okay. So
it's part of the new compliance company that I started for employers, and it's an integral piece of it.
Okay, and you need to see these videos. Well, this one's 51 megs, so I'm saving it to the desktop. It's going to take it about 10 more seconds or so, and then I'll open it from the desktop. First, I'll just double-click it, and what should happen is Flip for Mac should use QuickTime to open it. So it's finished downloading, although it seems like it's an ASF file. All right, I've double-clicked it. See up in the top left-hand corner, Flip for Mac is opened. Let's see if Flip for Mac converts it. Now, this thing is huge, so let me bring it down to half size so I can get to the controls. All right. And I'm trying to play it.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the webinar from the implementation, when employers must generally be in compliance with the coverage provisions.
Yeah, it's webinar. It
However,
sounds audio only.
Time, as you can see in our slide,
I'm going to pause
recently
this.
Released regulations and proposals.
Okay, so the slides didn't pull down. Let me try to open it with something else. Let me go find where in the heck it is real quick. It's in my downloads folder, I think. Give me a second here. Downloads. What was the name of that file? 2013.
That's it right there, top one.
Yeah, oh, it was on the desktop. All right, so I'm going to control click or right click, and I'm going to try to open it with VLC. Let's see if VLC will open it. Yeah.
National Association of Health Underwriters. This is Ann Phelps, and I lead our practice here at Washington Counsel Ernst & Young in Washington, D.C., and with me I have Heather Mead.
All right, that's audio only, what they exported out. It's a WMV file that doesn't have audio. Let me look up ASF as a file extension.
It has audio, but not video.
Right. Let's see what could play ASF files. You know what? It may be as simple as possibly changing the extension name. This, good gosh, the name of this thing is ridiculously long. Good gracious. Try ASF. All right, now let's click it. Sometimes if you change the extension name of a file, it will actually play. This is Flip from Mac trying it again.
What'd you change it to?
I changed it to ASF.
Of course, cover the tax penalties.
Still
and
audio.
fees, and what types of
Yeah, I can't open it either. And I've got everything under the sun.
All right, let me call them.
Was that a PowerPoint presentation that just hadn't opened the slides yet, maybe? Or maybe it was later on they had more visuals?
No, I watched it live and it came up right away.
Okay.
It could be, and it says in that thing that the PowerPoint presentation is to come. So it could be that they only recorded the audio and they're going to drop the slide to you later in another. If you look back at that,
You try another one. I've tried them all, Scotty, and they're still the same way.
yeah, I think that's probably what's going on. Is that they just recorded the audio, and the PowerPoint would be provided separately. Now, this is Real Player.
When employers must generally be in
This is
compliance
Real
with
Player.
provisions.
It's doing the same
However,
thing. I don't think that there's any video in there. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll save
Can we
the
try another one? Can we try another one?
Sure.
One of the other webinar things except that one?
Yeah, let me try one more here.
If you find a smaller one.
Let's see. Was this it? And help me figure out where I was. I closed that page. I'm in the compliance area. Resources, compliance. Well, let me see if I can pull up my history here. Maybe this is it. Webcasts. Yeah, this will load up. Chris, what have you got going on this evening?
It's kind of a question regarding email attachments, sending email attachments, and people receiving them not having any attachments on their end of the email.
Okay.
And I'll get into it more.
All right. Now see, down here, this says click here to view the PowerPoint. What they might be wanting you to do, Daryl, is download the audio that you play in conjunction with the PowerPoint presentation, which is pretty crappy, but it's a way that they can save being a very, very large file if they just give you the slides and the audio separately. Because if this is just PowerPoint, they're not actually doing anything and there's no video like what we're doing right now. I bet that's what they want you to do. I bet you anything that's what they expect you to do. So, like, check this out. I'm going to download this file. I'm not sure how long that is. Let's see how big that is. 30 megs. And then I'm going to download it as a PDF file as well. This is the PDF of that same thing. Let's go look at the PowerPoint of it. I'm going to do a right click and download it to the desktop. I thought I downloaded the view the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint presentation, they've got it as a PDF here. It's not a PowerPoint.
They got it as both, don't they?
No. Not in this particular one. It's not a PowerPoint presentation. They've got it as a PDF file. See, this is a PDF. But what they did is they exported the PowerPoint as a PDF file. So they're expecting you to sit here and have this open while you go and you play the audio file, which is downloading. That's what I think. I think they've separated into two different files. So, because if you...
We'll find out in a minute.
And it would make sense if they're trying to keep the file size as low as possible, that they would just send you audio and say, by the way, here's the slides. Because if they made this a video and they actually didn't have interaction like we have right now, where I need you to see this screen and I'm going to open this and do that, if it's just slides that they were doing as a PowerPoint presentation, then it would make sense that they would do this and you just follow along the slides as they say it. So here's this, I'll open this audio file up. And give me a second here. All right. So here we go, the beginning of the presentation.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello. Welcome to our Compliance Corner webinar today, the essentials of the summary of benefits and coverage.
See, that's it right there.
My name is Janet Troutwine,
There she
and I'm
is.
the CEO of the National Association of Health
Hey,
Underwriters,
you're in
and I'm going to be
listen-only
leading
mode,
the
too.
session today.
That's terrible.
Say that again, Chris.
I heard her say webinar participants are in listen-only mode.
Yeah, so they don't interact. So this is...
There's thousands of agents on these things.
Yeah.
They can't do anything else but listen only.
Right. So that's what they've done. It sounds like they've separated it to here's the audio and here's the video. And the video, they have tremendously reduced the file size by just giving you the slides. And in this case, they've given you the slides in a PDF file. So you don't even have to open PowerPoint. And this is actually what I would prefer if I had to listen to this and go through it. I would say, all right, well, let me see what's going on here. And there's no interactivity on this at all. There was nothing moving. And if you remember, all you were looking at was the slides, probably. There was no talking head like the three of us are talking heads at the moment.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's what they've done. So that's it. I think that's what's going on.
All right.
But you did need
Well,
flip from that.
I'll check with them and let you know.
Yeah, ask them if they broke it out into two different files, audio and then a slideshow, and that's what they expect you to do. Chris, let's take a look at your issue here, and so you've
Well,
got some attachments.
Thank you, Scotty.
Yes, of course. All right.
I don't know that there's anything you can look at. It may just be a discussion because it happens from work, particularly in the case of if I'm having to email radiographs to another dentist or specialist in the past, what I've had to do since the radiographs are on my virtual Windows machine, I can export those into a public folder that's shared by the Mac, and then I go to email and I attach those JPEG files really onto the email, and when I do so, the X-rays are displayed in the message part of the email, but I've also attached them originally, and so I've recently, over the last couple of weeks, I've sent them to specific offices, and they've emailed me back saying they see them displayed, but they don't see them as an attachment. I'm sure this is probably PC or Windows program that they're opening or computer that they're opening them on. And so I'm like, well, it used to be that you could open them, and she goes, well, I don't see them, they're not listed as attachments, and I can see them on the message, but I can't copy and paste them or drag them to anything. And so I was kind of befuddled, and since I never saw what they were doing, I sent an email to my colleague who has a Windows, next to me in my office, and sure enough, it doesn't display it as there being attachments on the email, but he sees the radiographs.
And these are all started within Windows, right? So I'm thinking there's no Mac in this discussion. Is that correct? Other than the Mac is hosting the Windows environment that you're attaching these in. Is that right?
Well, I'm not emailing from the Windows environment. I'm emailing from mail.
All right, well, let me back up. How do you get them from the Windows environment? Because your Windows environment has some sort of proprietary X-ray organizing tool, right?
It goes from the Dexys program, export it to this is the way Andrew set it up, is to where I can export it to a public folder
Okay.
outside of Windows on the Mac,
Okay.
and then that shares,
All right.
and then I can attach them from the public
All right.
file.
I think this could be an easy fix then. What if you were just to compress those? In other words, there's one way that I could do it. If I need to email you something right now, here's the email that I've got open. I could drag and drop, and that's what you're doing right now, right?
No, I kind of go, under the attached paperclip icon up there, and it allows me to browse to what I want to attach, and I
And then
can
you
go to the
select.
public folder
Okay.
and click on several X-rays
Right.
and hit choose, and they appear on the message.
Okay, so next time do this instead. Think of, I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. As they travel from one place to the other, right now they're naked, let's say. They're open and barren. And what you need to do is compress them or put them into an enclosure so that as they travel through the internet, no harm comes to them. So the way you could do that is, I don't know, I wouldn't use the paperclip to start, all right?
Okay.
I would open up two windows. I would open a Finder window and my email window, and then I'm going to navigate down to a file
I think
here.
I could just pick a photo or something.
Yeah, well, I've got several things on my desktop. So what I want to do is select multiples of those. All right, I've got all these things that I want to add, that I want to send to you. Now I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to compress those 4 items.
Okay.
Now that I've compressed those 4 items, I have an archive folder. Now I'm going to send that archive folder to you. So what that's done is put them into an envelope. So when they get the email, they have to open up the compressed file. And when I say compressed, it's not like reducing the quality or anything. It's really just putting them into a zipped envelope. And they will be able to open that. That, by default, is just a zip file, and they will completely be able to open that in Windows with no problem. And when they open that file, that will, really all Mail is doing is moving the package, and Mail is not looking at what's inside the package at all. And when they get it, they will see a folder that expands, called Archive in this case, and it will have the contents of that. And I bet you anything that's going to solve the problem.
Okay.
I wouldn't bet you anything.
But because I've, of course, gone on to, little blogs or chat places about this happening, and it seems to be not an common problem.
Right.
More recently, and again, I don't know if it's the updated Mail app or something that's changed, because I could used to do it, but all of a sudden, probably after I updated around the holidays when I went into do all my updates on my computers, suddenly I'm getting these messages that they're not seeing the attachments. And I'm not saying what I can easily do what you're asking to do. That's no big deal. But I guess it's there's no, you haven't heard of this happening, that the attachments get either
Yes.
corrupted and stuff like that?
Yes, I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. Yeah, and I think that Mail is at fault. I think that Apple's Mail is at fault. And I don't think, I live in Apple's Mail program. I don't think that there are any settings to send Windows-friendly attachments or anything like that in there.
We've always done that. And
Right.
now I know I've heard that, and I asked them to try this morning, but I heard that if they right-click on the image
Yeah.
within the message, that they can either open it up that way as an attachment, or they can copy it.
Yeah, they could also
click
just,
on-
they could save it as a, are these pictures actual images, or are these some sort of proprietary, real weird
No,
extension?
they convert it, the software converts it into a JPEG file, so it can easily be transferred and then opened up as an image.
So all you're doing is sending JPEGs back and forth
Yeah.
to these people?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If they can see it, they can save it. They just don't know how to save it. I mean, you should literally...
They're used to doing it one way, where they transfer it into their own radiographic file software themselves, and either they just haven't come to this kind of a situation and know what to do. So I was trying to figure out a way to get them to do it without,
You could do that, or you could also, when you
also just do the zip.
Yeah, you could also do the zip. When you drag a picture in or you put them in, do they show up, like here's a gigantic one here, do they show up as pictures before you email them to them, like this?
Yes.
All right, so why don't you try
As soon as
this?
you attach them, soon as you attach them, they come up as images on under the message.
Okay.
For, the email.
So try this. Do a right click yourself before you send it out next time. Let me see if I can right click this and view it as an icon before you send it.
Okay.
And that's just a simple attachment. So try it back and forth a couple of different ways. You could zip many of them, or you could right click and send them as just icons instead of view in
And
place.
then they should just be able to drag that onto whatever, like their desktop or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they should be able to do it the other way as well. Right click, view image in place. They should be able to drag over and drop that image, regardless of whether it's Windows or a Mac.
Yeah, 'cause that's universal.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, with email, you can do that within the image, correct?
Yeah.
With the right click. Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
All right, I'll give it a shot then.
Hey, by the way, speaking just right here, I had the great fortune this past weekend. I drove down to Atlanta and got to see Jaws on the big screen. There was a showing of Jaws. It was a midnight showing. You had to go to the movie at 12 a.m. But it was just so beautiful. What a great movie.
Hey, I saw it when it first came out in 1976.
Yeah.
I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Way back when. I think I was in 8th grade. That's when I was in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even remember.
Yeah, just a great movie. So I'm going down in 2 weeks for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You don't get to see these on the big screen very often. Well, Emma Day, are you with us, Emma Day?
I'm with you. I can't figure out what my square screen's doing.
Well,
it just said my screen is saying meeting ID verified.
Well, you're in.
I don't know what to do with it.
You're in.
Well, why is that thing in the way?
Well, let's jump over and take a look.
I can see you a little bit.
Let's jump over and take a look and see if we can help you out. I'm going to send a message over to where you'll see show my screen or share my screen, and you'll hit OK to that.
All right, I'll check you later, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Scotty.
All right. Bye.
I'll let you know.
All right. Yeah, look at that, Emma Day. You know what? There's a screen behind that. There's a little window behind that. Can you click that window just behind that? There you go. That's right. That's what I'm looking for. It's kind of stuck somewhere. I tell you what, Emma Day,
this whole computer's been stuck. I can't get out of Safari. When I've opened the window, it won't close. I don't know what's going on.
All right, I think I know what's going on. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, you have two little yellow flower icons. See that?
Yeah.
All right, hover over. Yeah, you see the one that says V3? I'm sorry, 5.3, and then V4. V5.4 is the one that you're using right now. 5.3 is hung in limbo. So let's try this. Go click on that and click and hold and see if it brings up an option of things that we can do. There we go.
Okay.
All right, now can you go up to quit?
Yes.
And let's see if that'll do it for us. All right, are you still with us?
I'm with you, but
Great.
It says there's an error.
That's okay. So just hit OK on that. And while we're at it here, what I'd like to do next, and I love that you got that bookmark there. That's fantastic. Open up a Finder window for us. That means you can click on the happy Picasso face in the bottom left-hand corner. What we want to do here, Emma Day, is get rid of GoToMeeting 5.3. So look at your applications folder on the left-hand side of your computer.
Okay.
Now, you see that you have 5.3 and 5.3 there?
Yes.
Click on one time, just one time. Click on it just once. Okay. Now, hold the Command key down and click on the one below it. Perfect. Now, we want to drag those to the trash, but I'm going to tell you the shortcut to dragging to the trash is to go Command Delete. Hold the Command key down on your keyboard and just hit the Delete key one time. There. All right.
Okay.
Now that 5.3 is in the trash now, Emma Day, and that should not open up automatically the next time we have a session.
Okay.
All right.
So what do I do now?
Well, now let's work on trying to solve this problem of why Safari's not quitting on you. So,
Well, I can't see you. I've still got the applications open. Do I close it?
you can hit the red button on that window, and we're looking at your screen right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, click on the contacts window that you have open right now. Just click on that window one time. Yes. All right, now let's quit address book. And you can go up to the address book in the top left-hand corner and select quit. There you go. That's right. All right. Okay. Now, do you see our video? In other words, do you see?
I see you behind this window that's asked me if I want to leave the meeting.
All right, so cancel that meeting. Cancel that. You don't want to leave the meeting unless you're tired of me. Okay, so do you see video of Daryl and I?
I do.
Okay, great. All right, so you're good to go. Now what we need to do is solve this problem of why is Safari not quitting. So
Okay.
go to the bottom where the dock is, and you'll see Safari's icon, and let's select that.
Okay.
All right. Now, what you have done is you have opened up Safari in a full screen window. So what I would like you to do, Imade, is move your mouse all the way to the top of the screen.
Okay.
Now you see that menu bar that came back over there?
Yes.
And move your mouse down again. And that probably goes away, right?
Yes.
Now this is very confusing for a lot of people. Apple, what they did was they built a lot of applications like iPhoto and Safari and Mail to be able to do this mode, this full screen mode. But what happens often is people go into this full screen mode by accident and they don't know how to get out of it. Do you know how to get out? Do you know how to get out of full screen mode?
I know I could go to the top and that'll come up and I click on Safari and do quit.
Okay, well, let me show you another way then. Move your mouse
Okay.
all the way back up to the top again like you did.
Okay.
Now, notice on the other side, on the right-hand side, there's a blue square.
Yes.
Click on that blue square over there with the two arrows and watch what happens.
Okay.
Now, this
see.
looks a little bit more familiar, right?
Yes.
This is Safari running on your desktop. So now let's quit Safari. And Safari's quit.
So if I have a window open, like I had a window open for Dillard's, and I couldn't get it to close. I couldn't get it to leave. I pushed Command Escape, Command Quit, everything, and it just kept coming back.
Well,
and then the next window I tried to open wouldn't go there. It'd go back to Dillard's, and I couldn't figure out why.
Well, there are two issues here that we have to really talk about. Nancy, I see that you just came in, and we're going to get to you in a second. One of them was that you had Safari on full screen mode, and we talked about how confusing that can be. Let's reopen Safari again and talk real quickly about multiple tabs.
Okay.
And I think this might make some things clearer for you. Now, when we open up Safari here, if you go across, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tabs open. Do you know what I mean by a tab?
No.
Okay, so look at the red, green, and yellow buttons in the top left-hand corner, but don't click them. Do you see them?
Okay, yeah.
Now, move your eyes down until you see the word Hewlett-Packard.
Yes, I see.
That is a web page that you have open that you're not looking at right now. Go ahead and click on the word Hewlett-Packard. That brings up a web page that you were looking at earlier. Now move your eyes across to the...
I'm trying to get rid of that thing.
And I'm going to show you how to do that. But look at your eye. Have your eyes go across to where it says Apple Safari. You see that?
Yes.
That's a web page. Click on that web page. These are what are called tabs, Imade. And the point of tabs is for people to be able to open up 5 or 6 web pages without having individual windows open. Back in the old days, we had a window and another window and another window on top of that. Now we have an ability to open a window and have multiple little pages within that one window. So what you need to do is learn how to quit each of these. Now it's really easy. You see the X next to the word Apple?
Yes.
Touch that X, and then that page will go away. Now you're down to 4 pages. All right, so touch the X next to Walt Disney, and it won't show up until you move your mouse over it. Right. So you are closing tabs right now. All right.
Okay.
Now keep on closing these things.
Can I close this?
Yes, you can. And that will close. That closes in the background, and then close one more. Now you are down to 1. Well, almost.
Okay.
Click again. You see that?
Is this one?
Yep. That's right.
Okay.
There. Now you're down to one window with one tab. Okay?
Okay.
And so if you wanted to go search, or if you wanted to go to google.com or whatever, you would go up, you would put your cursor in that little bar, where you always type in the name of a website. Nope.
Okay.
Next to the green, moving over to the right where it says download.
Right here.
Yes. And you would
Okay.
start typing there. Now here's a great hint. If you triple click, if you go click, click, click 3 times really fast, it highlights everything. So do that for us. There.
All right.
Now you're ready to type in cnn.com or wherever you want to go.
Okay. So if I just want to go back to the search window in Safari, what do I do?
Well, here's the nice thing about this. Apple updated Safari, and now they have what's called a unified toolbar. And what that means is that you don't have to go to google.com to search. You can type in the word that you want to search right there. So type in
Okay.
type in butterfly right there.
Okay.
Okay. Now hit return. Now you're not going to butterfly.com. You're going to Google, who has just done a search for you for butterfly. And
Okay.
if you were looking for pictures, you would click on images and so forth.
So if I wanted to close that whole window or whatever it is,
Mhm.
how do I get out of it?
Well, do you want to just completely close this window down and not see butterflies
Well,
anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
can't seem to get out of Windows. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you see that red button in the top left-hand corner, that hides that particular window. And this is a really good point right here. Click that red button and it puts that window away. It removes it from your computer. All right? And
Okay.
okay. Notice, however, that Safari is still on. And I know
Yeah.
this by 2 reasons. I see the word Safari in the top left-hand corner, and I also see at the bottom of your dock the picture of Safari, and there's a dot on, meaning that it's on. There's a light underneath
Okay.
it. So what you
Okay.
really should do when you're not using a program is quit that program.
Okay.
And you know how to do that.
I go up there and just click on that and quit it.
That's right. And then that just shuts Safari down completely.
I don't think I was in the right place.
Yeah, you were a little inaccurate there. Yeah. Now Safari's closed.
Okay.
Safari is not even running on your computer right now.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause on you. I'm gonna go to Nancy and try to get hopefully get some questions solved with her as well.
Okay.
Nancy.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Nancy, what have you got going on this evening?
Oh, iCloud.
Okay. And does this have to do with your other family members on iCloud, maybe?
Yes. And
Okay.
we have logged out and all that, but our contacts are still syncing.
Okay. Your contacts are still syncing between 2 computers. So I know you have a daughter. Is it happening on one daughter's or both, all the children?
I think just one.
Okay. And is this, I'm trying to remember.
This is Lucy, who
This- the real
Mary
computer.
Catherine was our rebel, and she's fine.
Okay.
She
Got it.
um,
Yeah, Mary
Lucy
Catherine's
hasn't.
Mary Catherine's the one that is really into the technical side of things a little bit more, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's do you have Lucy's phone and your phone nearby? What we
Well,
need.
I have her computer. I don't have her phone, and
Okay.
I don't know that we can solve it without her phone.
But that's okay. I can give you the way to solve it. Now, what has probably happened is she has 2 devices, a computer and a phone. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you have at least 2 devices, maybe even 3 if you count an iPad, probably, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is check and make sure that all your devices are set up correctly, and I'm pretty sure that they are. So on the computer, you're going to open up System Preferences, and on your iPhone, you're going to go to Settings, and you're going to go to iCloud. On your computer in System Preferences, you're going to go to the iCloud button. And this is all being recorded, so if I go a little bit too fast, you'll be able to go back on my website and see this later too. Now, what I want to do first is see, am I signed into the right account on both my iPhone, my iPad, and my computer? Now this is you we're talking about, not daughter. So
Mhm.
I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom of my phone, and I want to find out, actually, the top. And I want to see who I'm signed in as. I'm signed in as Nancy, all right, let's say. Now you're going to come over to your control panel or your system preferences, and you're going to look at account details. And you know where I'm at in the iCloud preference pane.
Yes.
Click on account details. And that should, don't worry about what the name says. The name could say Kalamazoo, Michigan. I don't care about what the name says. I want to know what is the Apple ID. And the Apple ID is probably Nancy as well.
Correct.
All right. Now, and remember, and I've probably mentioned this to you before, and I say this all the time, this has nothing to do with who you are purchasing as. Remember, we all have two relationships with Apple, a data relationship and a financial relationship. And all we're talking about right now is the data relationship, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now that you've proven that all of your devices are on the right track, now we need to go look at her devices. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to look on her computer, and you're going to look at iCloud as well. However, there are a couple things that you could be fooled about. If you go over here and you look at her iCloud settings and you see that she has her own email in there and her contacts are synced, and then you do this. You go out of there and you go back to the contacts, and then you say, but why do I still see my contacts here? Why are my contacts in my daughter's phone? Well, the answer to that is probably because if she's signed in under hers, the reason that your contacts might still be on her phone are that they are not exactly always, they're not all your contacts. What could have happened is maybe you had 200 contacts and you were signed in under her, or she was signed in on your phone. And I remember she was. And when we signed out of her and we signed into her, we had two choices. We could have either deleted all the contacts off of the phone or left those contacts that were there on the phone so that she could add her own going forward. And I bet that we left hers on, also including the ones that came from you. So if she is signed in as herself on her iPhone under iCloud, but she still sees some of your contacts, then do a test. Go to her contacts, find somebody, and delete them. And once you've deleted them, edit, and I'm going to delete that person. And once you delete that person, see if it's deleted off of your phone. I bet it's not.
Let's see. I'm trying to. Well, this is just a for instance. So I have my friend Allison Boyle is in my contacts.
Okay.
Lucy babysits for her, and she is listed as Mrs. Boyle in Lucy's contacts. So I got a phone call from Allison the other day, and it popped up Allison Boyle or Mrs. Boyle.
Well, we've got to.
I feel like I have her contacts.
There's no way that a phone can sync to two different iCloud accounts at the same time. So I don't think that's happening. I think that might have been left over from the past. Here's another thing that could happen. A person could connect their phone to iTunes and sync their contacts and merge the contacts that they had on their phone into iTunes, which would then move into your address book. So that's a possibility too. But
regardless of which computer they hook it into, it's just iTunes, not the device.
Right. iTunes can. I hate that Apple did this. They actually had it fixed a long time ago. You could sync over wireless and wired, and then Apple separated it, and they said now you can only sync over. You can only sync through iCloud, not wired, or wired and not iCloud. And then they went back on it and they said, well, you can sync from both iCloud and wired, but you'll get duplicates. And they even have that sentence there. It's ridiculous. So that's possible. But as long as you are signed in as you on all your devices and she is signed in as her on all of her devices, then whatever changes you make going forward have nothing to do with her. Now, there is one more piece I want to mention to you. All right, and we probably went over this, and I'm pretty sure I do this always whenever I deal with this, because this is not the first time that this happens. When a parent has put their footprint on their child's device, or vice versa, one person has put their footprint on another person's device. When you're trying to get the evidence of that person off of the device, there are several places that you have to look, and let me go through them real quickly. First, you go into settings, and you have to look in iCloud, Am I signed out of, let's say I'm going to give this to my friend. Okay, am I signed out of this phone on iCloud? Yes, I am. All right. Am I signed out under messages? See, I'm set up with messages, so I got to sign those out. Otherwise, when I send a text message, my friend's going to start getting them on the phone that I gave him. So I need to be signed out of messages. Also, am I signed out of FaceTime? FaceTime.
See, I don't see messages.
Oh, it's there. If you're on an iPhone.
Under settings or under iCloud?
Under settings.
Okay, so settings, messages.
And you want to make sure that that person, under send and receive, that you don't have any of that person's email addresses and they don't have any of yours in here. See, I'm set up to send and receive from several email addresses here.
No. I'm afraid this is going to be a home visit. We've got
Let me go.
so much going on.
Okay, well, I'd be happy to solve it.
I mean,
know
like
that we
I'm
can.
getting, I all of a sudden she's getting my, I don't even know what's going on, but
All right.
We're
Well, if you schedule me, make sure we have all the devices because we need every single
Right.
device in the presence there.
see, I thought we logged out of everything while you were here, and then
Well,
immediately it just started going nuts.
well, let me ask you this: if you add a contact, and you can practice with Santa Claus, add Santa Claus in under your device and see if Santa Claus appears on her device,
on
or
my phone or my computer.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then on her world, have her add the Easter Bunny. Easter Bunny whose phone number is 111-1111 or something like that. And then see if the Easter Bunny shows up on your device. That's the true test right there. But I have faith in this technology. I do have faith in iCloud. And there's either A, you're going to say, Scotty, these didn't sync over. That means that it's just the history that we have to clean up. Or B, they're syncing and somebody's still signed into somebody's iCloud account, which happens all the time. And remember, this has nothing to do with iTunes and App Store.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely clear on that.
Okay.
We just can't, I don't know. It's crazy.
All right, well,
It is
get them all in one room. And it could be, too, that somebody signed out of one or something, too. I don't think so. But it's probably that daughter who's got all the technical knowledge. It's probably her fault. I'm just she's going around.
Oh my Lord, I've got doubles and triples of some people. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I'm ever gonna remedy this.
I can remedy it. I do it every day. I can totally solve the threes.
Without having to delete all this stuff.
Yes. Yeah, the first thing that I do when I sit down, it's not my first rodeo, is I save every contact on the phone. Yeah, I save every contact on the phone, and then we start eliminating. Yeah, there's something going on there, but I'm sure it's a very easy fix.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I will make an appointment, and I wish I could solve this, but I can't. So.
All right. Well, you're not the only person it's happened to. Believe me.
I know, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, almost.
Okie doke. Well, I'm going to sign off and go get my child at the airport. So,
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks.
We're going to jump over to Joan. Joan, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Well, what's going on this evening? How can I try to help?
I have no questions. I have gum surgery early tomorrow morning, so I just wanted to check in, see what was going on, and I'm off to bed.
Well, I hope the medical procedure goes well.
Thank you, Scotty.
My goodness.
Me too.
All right. Well, is anybody, Daryl, I know we had kind of left you quickly earlier. Do you have something else that you want to hit?
No, Scotty, I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Emma Day, did you have another issue we needed to cover?
Just listening to her, I was wondering, can someone get into your email if you haven't signed them into your iCloud account if you haven't signed them in on something?
No. Her issue is that she has 3 daughters, and the daughters have probably gone in and changed something around and added in her account because they use her account all the time to buy things. And so I think it's more of a human problem. It's not
Okay.
it's not that another person has gotten a hold of something. most likely what happened, I'm guessing, is that one of the daughters, see, they all buy under the same iTunes account, but one of the daughters said, oh, wait a minute, let me go sign in as my mom here. And when they did that, they got all her contacts. So,
Okay.
yeah, and the password has, everybody's password nowadays that has had to reset their password in the last couple of years, has a capital letter and a number and a lowercase letter, and it's at least 8 letters long. That's a pretty secure password. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, no, it's not that somebody's hacked her or anything like that.
All right, I'm not sure if I'm on Mountain Lion or a cross of them all in all my things.
All right. Well,
I don't know what the difference is.
let's take a look. I'm going to jump back over to your screen,
Okay.
and let's see. I promised my family that I'll be out of here by 8, so I'm going to close it up here pretty soon.
I imagine you should.
Let's take a look at your screen. You should see to share my screen, and you'll click on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, the way that you find out what your operating system is go to the black apple in the top left-hand corner and click on the black
Okay.
apple.
Okay.
Now you will see About This Mac when that shows up.
Okay.
All right, select About This Mac.
All
Okay,
right.
version that you're on is 10.7.5. So you are currently in the operating system called Lion. 10.8
Okay.
is available, and that's called Mountain Lion. Now, if you wanted to go and move the operating system from 10.7 to 10.8, what you would do is you would go down into the dock to the App Store. The App Store is a circular icon that has a letter A on it, spelled out in like pencils.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
You'd open that, and then you're going to see like a front store. And it's going to say, hey, would you like to buy this? Would you like to buy this? And then one of the things is Mountain Lion. Mountain Lion is 10.8, and it costs $20. Now,
What's the difference?
Good question. One of the big differences, one of the big improvements of Mountain Lion is that you have the ability to back up to at least 2 hard drives automatically. In 10.7, you had to say, I want Time Machine to work with this drive. And then you had to unplug that drive, plug another drive up if you wanted to back up to 2 drives. And then you would say, no, I changed my mind. I wanted to back up to this one. And then a week later, you change the drives again and say, no, I wanted to back up to this one. But in Mountain Lion, you can plug up 2 hard drives and you can let Time Machine back up to both of them at the same time. So I tell a lot of people, leave one hard drive plugged up in the background and just bring in another drive occasionally. And what's great about that is a person like yourself, Imade, who doesn't really need to think about all these button pushing and stuff, you get it set up and then you bring in your other drive and you plug it up and it just backs up automatically. Now, I always get the question, why would I want to use 2 hard drives to back up? All right, do you know the answer to that?
Yes, something's going to fail.
Yeah, not only is something possibly going to fail, you could have something terrible happen in that office space that you use, like a fire or a theft. And if you have an external hard drive that's not in your house, that you only bring in every once in a while, that means when this terrible thing could possibly happen, you have a backup off-site. There are...
Well,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask you because when you were here last time, I said I bought this mobile USB G drive,
Mm-hmm.
and you said just to hold on to it because I might back up to it. Is that what I back up to?
That would be a great choice to back up to. Now, there's something that I do have to throw up a red flag here real quick, and that is that, Imade, you are not currently backing up. And the way that
I'm not backing up to anything.
No, you're not. And the way that I can tell that is because that little clock in your menu bar is gray right now. So we need to remedy that right this very second.
Good idea.
Yeah. So do this for me real quick. Open up
All right.
System Preferences, which is the gears, the little gears in your dock down there.
Okay.
Okay. And you can close that window that was open there you can close that away. All right, go to the
All right.
Time Machine button on the 4th line. It's a green circle.
Here.
That's it.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, now select disk. And I think that you have a time capsule hard drive. I think you have a time
I do.
capsule router. All right, so select disk. And if you do, I don't see that time capsule on your network, do me one more favor. Go up to the top in the menu bar and you see that little fan that tells you about your airport signal strength. Yes, click on that. Make sure you're on your network. Seymour, that's your network. All right. Do you have a time capsule?
Yes.
Okay. All right, click
It's
off of that.
green.
I thought you did.
What?
Click off of that real quick. Now,
Okay.
go to the spotlight search at the very top. There's a magnifying glass. Click on that magnifying glass and type in the word airport. I want to see if you have a time capsule. I thought you did.
I do. I've got 2 of them.
Now, you could have an Airport Extreme and a time capsule. Now, hit return.
Okay.
And we're going to open up Airport Utility, and that'll tell us what devices are on your network. Because if you had a time capsule and everything was functioning, we should have seen that hard drive show up right there just now. Now, Airport Utilities.
Okay.
Did you open up? Okay. Maybe it's taking a second to open. I don't see Airport Utilities window open. Did a window open for you, Imade?
No.
Okay.
Where it says set up other time machine.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you have double monitors? No, there we go. Okay. Maybe I'm
Do
just
I have what?
never mind. Never mind.
I do have double monitors.
But are they both on at the same time right now?
No, the other one's off because it's not even in the town.
Okay. I don't see that time capsule showing up over
I
there.
see a little circle trying to come around.
Yeah, and it's trying to tell me what devices are on your network, what routers are on your network. I don't see a time capsule showing up. There should be a router that shows up over there. Well, I tell you what, Imade, do you have that USB drive, that G drive that you talked about?
Yes,
Why don't you grab that?
I've got it. I have to open it.
That's fine. Because we need to get you backing up. This is important enough.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that. How can you? Now tell me how you do that again.
The icon of the clock in the top of your menu bar was the color gray and not the color black.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That needs to be black. That would tell me that you're backing up.
You've got to get this thing open.
That's fine. Take your time. I'm gonna get it done right.
scary. Maybe because I switch machines when I go to another town. Because I've got one in the other town too.
I'm more curious as to why your airport device is not showing here. I wonder if you moved a router to the beach and you're using a router in your house that's not an airport router. I remember in your home where you sit, you have your computer, and on the left-hand side of your desk, there used to be a white router.
There is.
And is that white router, does it have a silver apple or is the apple just the color white on the top of it?
It's silver apple.
And that's a time capsule. It's just not showing up. It could be the hard drive's having problems.
Uh-oh.
Which is common for. I'm not a big fan of the time capsule. I know Daryl's got one.
I thought you liked it.
No, I don't like the time capsule. No, I like Time
thought
Machine. Time Machine, I will cheer
No,
for.
maybe I'm on Time Machine. What am I? Because this is what you told me to get, I thought.
Well, this is a confusing thing for a lot of people. Time Machine is a piece of software that runs on your computer. Time Capsule is a router that you bought, you paid money for, that sits in your home somewhere that gives out wireless. And you told me that you have a white box that has a silver apple on it. That's a time capsule. It's just not showing up here for some reason, which is okay. Why don't you do this? Close that window by hitting or just quitting Airport Utility.
Wait a minute, let me get this thing open. I'm trying to open. It takes forever to get this open. And seal it so hard you can't get it out.
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, while she's doing that, do you guys, Joan or Daryl, do you have any follow-up questions real quick while we're waiting on that?
No, this is interesting to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I didn't know you had a time capsule and a time machine.
Yes, Time Machine is software that's on your computer. It's like Safari or iPhoto. It's not something you hold in your hand. Time Capsule is something you hold in your hand. It's a physical device. I've got one sitting over there. So
Well, how do you get time machine?
you already have it. You already have Time Machine, just like you have iPhoto, right? And you have Safari, and you have system preferences, and you have the GoToMeeting software, and you have Pages. You have Time Machine. It's a piece of software running on your computer. So you already have that.
I've got this backup thing right here now. I'm trying to figure out how to plug it up.
Okay. The only advantage that people have to Time Capsule, the reason that people buy Time Capsule most of the time, is that they can buy this device, and I mean, well, I don't want to unplug it because I might be connected to that thing wirelessly, but, well, the Time Capsule is a white router that has a hard drive in it that gives a person that has a laptop the ability to back up wirelessly. So, here's my laptop. So I walk in, and I don't want to connect it physically to anything, so I start using it, and it's backing up wirelessly with no wires to my Time Capsule hard drive that is also a router. Now, I am using the software called Time Machine to back up to the hardware called Time Capsule.
All right, so have I done something to disconnect something?
Well, something's definitely not right because I'm not seeing that device. But
You want me to get out of this window?
Yes, go up to Airport Utility and quit Airport Utility. To the top left-hand corner.
Spotlight.
No, left-hand corner where it says Airport Utility over on the left-hand side of the computer.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And choose Airport Utility and then choose to quit Airport Utility.
Okay.
Now, have you plugged up, so go ahead and say cancel on that right now.
Okay.
But leave that window open. Good. Now, have you plugged up that external hard drive?
I've got it ready to plug up. Should I do it now?
Plug it up.
Okay. Both of the devices, both of the plugs are not working on sometimes not working on this laptop. Let me see if I can get it on.
It's fine. Take your time. Did you guys watch the inauguration today? Anybody see that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I'm going to try to plug this in this one. All right, it's plugged in.
Okay. Now, when it plugs in, it should show up on your desktop. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. Look how wonderful that is. You see where it says use as a backup?
Yes.
Click that puppy. Use as backup. We don't even have to do anything else. Now, it may give us a little warning saying, hey, we've got to erase this, but that's okay. Looks good. All right, Emma, you're set. You're going to see a little window that pops up here in about a minute or so that will be a progress bar, and that's going to take maybe 30 or 40 minutes for your computer to back up to that drive. Just leave it plugged up for the next couple of hours. Every once in a while, plug that drive up. All right, and that'll be your backup.
So, what's wrong with my time capsule?
That I can't solve over the internet.
You need to come see me.
Yeah, build a list of things for yourself. Once you get a list of things that you need me for, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can close the window that you're looking at right now, Time Machine window, and you're using Time Machine. You're using this software to back up to a piece of hardware. So close System Preferences if you would.
Okay.
And now you see that progress bar, and just let that roll.
Okay.
200
so
gig.
It says it's through.
Yeah, it'll take a couple of hours probably. So just let it roll. Let it do its thing. All right. And
I had no idea. Now, could the other time capsule that I'm plugged up to at the beach be working and this one not?
Yeah, that's absolutely a possibility, but it's not working to this computer. You're not backing up to that other time capsule. If you were, that would still have been black up there at the top, and you see it's black now. That would have been black, and when you clicked on it, it would have said something like last backup December 17th, or whenever the last time you had gone to the beach was. So no, there's something fishy going on with that Airport Extreme, or that time capsule, that is.
All right, then I'm gonna have to get you over here.
All right. Well, don't rush on it. Build a list of other things for yourself too.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're
All
good,
right.
guys. I'm gonna get off of here this evening. Thank you as always for joining me, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
The organizer has ended the session.